What's happening, guys? Jim the Game Guru. Okay, I got a new series that I'm thinking about starting here. We're going to do games that are good for kids on the Nintendo Switch. I have 54 games, but instead of putting them all in one video, I've decided to slice them up into 3 parts. Here we go with part 1 on this video. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. I give away a Switch game and a board game every single month on both of my channels. I have a board game channel and this is my video game channel. On each one I give out a board game and a video game. So this coming up in mid-July, we've got Mario Golf Super Rush as the giveaway. So let's go ahead and dig into the list. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the first title. The first title is one that I picked up early on in my channel looking for something to play with my daughter, and that is Hoggy 2. Absolutely cute game. I think it's good, especially for young children from like anywhere from 5 to 10 years old. It is a game where you're these little slime characters and you jump into these little pots that kind of look like the pots in Super Mario Bros. 2 in the Sand Kingdom, where you go down, you have to try to get the key. It looks just like those pots. You jump in those pots, you have a little puzzle area, and you have to get all the fruit in there, and that will enable you to get the key. And as you rack up keys, you can unlock the doors in this game. I feel like this game is great for the value, for what you're paying for. It's only $5. You get 200 levels. The art style is fantastic, and I think it's really solid for young children. Next is Mario Kart 8. This is a game that has been, well, probably around for the lifetime of the Switch almost. And it's a very popular title. I feel like it's one of those titles that every child finds easy to play. Even if they can't play the high CC classes and they're only playing like the 50 CCs class like my son does. All he does is play 50 CCs. They can still control the vehicles in the game and end up winning the races. It's an absolutely excellent title, and it should be on everyone's radar if you're looking for a kid's game. So the third title on the list is Minecraft, another super popular title. My kids both have a Switch Lite, and they play online together via Switch Lite to Switch Lite through their Microsoft accounts. And they love building their forts, they love doing their crazy stuff in there. I mean, this is a game that I used to play a lot back on the Xbox 360, but now I feel like now my kids have taken over that, and they're the ones kind of involved in doing a lot of Minecraft. Every now and then I'll jump in and play with them too. But yeah, Minecraft is super solid. If you want to get a nice sandbox game for your kids to play and to build things, there you go. Minecraft is excellent. The fourth game on the list is Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Great platformer. The levels look beautiful. My only complaint with this game is that the individual characters do not have different abilities. All the characters have the same type of abilities, and I wish that wasn't the case. There's a lot of levels in this game. You have different objectives. You can find those little guys. I can't remember what they're called throughout each level, and then there's also going through and beating the levels. So yeah, Rayman Legends, great platformer. It's a platformer that everyone is on the screen at the same time, and you can play co-op up to 4 people. The fifth game on the list is a game that I never thought would ever be on this list, and it was actually a surprise back in the day. But when I first started my channel, this is another one along with Hoggy 2 that I picked up. It's not bad as far as price point. And it's Pang Adventures. In this game, you have these little boards where you're basically shooting at these little harpoon guns straight up in the air and bursting these bubbles. There is an adventure mode. Yes, this title in the past has been mostly an arcade style of game, but in this one, they actually have an adventure story mode where aliens are invading the Earth, and you go from city to city, and you can actually beat the boards and defeat aliens. Absolutely great controls, and it was actually a surprise for me because it was better than I ever thought it was going to be. And it was a great bonding moment between myself and my daughter. We played the game together, and we went through it together, and we beat the game. The sixth game on the list is Untitled Goose Game. Man, is this an awesome game. Beautiful looking game. The latest update to the game added 2-player co-op on it. Another great game that you can bond with your child, going through this little cute town with these geese, and you're trying to eventually get the golden bell. In every little section of the town you go into, you have to cross off items on the list as objectives. Objectives you're trying to meet in each one of those areas. I had an absolute blast playing this with my daughter. It's a great game. I highly recommend this game if you want to play a game with your child cooperatively. Kids absolutely love brawlers. They love brawlers. Brawlers. I don't know. It's just because brawlers are easy to play. You can easily control a character in a brawler. You can move them around. All you gotta do is know how to jump, punch, and kick. My kids love brawlers, and the next two games are brawler games. One of them being River City Girls on the 7th game on the list. Excellent pixel art, excellent music. The bosses are a little challenging. I will say that. You have to level up your characters pretty good or have a bunch of items that you can use when you go into a boss fight. They are very, very difficult. I mean, I had a hell of a time trying to beat those bosses. But the game is awesome. You're these two girls you're trying to go through and you're trying to find your boyfriends and rescue them. In the past, in the older River City games, it was the reverse. The boys were the ones doing all the rescuing. In this one, the girls are doing it. Great controls, great music, like I already said. Great time if you want a brawler. The next brawler that was really good was Streets of Rage 4 on this list on the 8th spot. And my kids didn't need any help on this one. I didn't have to intervene, jump in, do anything. They just jumped into this game because this game has modifiers. You can do modifiers to increase your life count before you start the story mode, and you can actually set the level you want to be, whether it's easy, normal, or whatever. And usually when they play just the two of them, they'll set it on easy, and they'll maybe they might tweak some of the modifiers, but they went through by themselves together and they played the game and they beat the end boss on it. The graphics I think are good. I like how Streets of Rage has come back. It's classic brawler action, and I think they really did a great job on this version. 9th game on the list is an absolutely great game. If you have not played this game, you need to get it. It is one of the best co-op experiences ever. It's Overcooked. You are frantic chefs in a kitchen trying to prepare meals quickly and delivering those meals for your clients. You're in the kitchen in a restaurant, basically. And then these orders come up and say, hey, make this. And each person has to do their part to basically push out the dishes. Frantic, fun, easy for kids to play. As far as it's not going to be something that I think a 5-year-old, I mean, maybe, depends on the child and their skill level at video games. But I think around 7 years old or maybe a little older. But yeah, Overcooked is awesome. I absolutely love that game. That's like one of those Switch family games that even with my other family members, we just love to play together. It's great. 10th on the list, no surprise, is Animal Crossing New Horizons. You're on an island and you basically can do many different things on an island. You can decorate your house, you can get a bigger house, you can put furniture in there, you can craft things, you can catch critters, you can go fishing, you can go to a museum and put all your critters in there and go in there and spend time looking at your stuff. You can collect fossils, dinosaur bone fossils. There's so many different things you can do in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I feel like it's definitely more of a kid's game than an adult game, and even though there are a lot of adults that play this game, I still feel like it's a very easy game geared more toward children. Well, the only problem with Animal Crossing New Horizons is it's another wallet puncher. It's going to be $60. Okay, 11th game on the list is Heave Ho. My God, one of the best experiences ever playing with my children is Heave Ho. Ugly game. Graphics are absolutely terrible. But man, is it one of the best co-op experiences. And all you are is these characters with these heads and these arms, and you have to kind of lock onto each other and hold on to things and try to make your way across each board to the very end. And it requires a lot of teamwork. And this is a game that kids can grasp easily. You just press your left trigger or your right trigger. That's it. When you press those two triggers, you're going to grab on with one of the arms on either one. That's all you need to do. And then there's, of course, the analog stick where you swing your character. But that's it. Super easy controls, super easy for kids to get into. I've had hilarious times playing this game, so we would just bust out in laughter. Fantastic game, very, very cheap too. It's super cheap pickup. Heave Ho is an awesome game. I highly, highly recommend that one. 12th game on the list is Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King. Here you go. This game, for me, is like, I feel like it's like a rookie or a novice Zelda game for your kid. So if you want your child to learn how to play top-down Zelda games, a little bit more stripped down, I feel like it's an easy game to play. It's probably not going to be for a child like this in around 5 or 6. I'm thinking maybe more around the 9ish realm or older. But yeah, super cool pixel art to it. It's super cute with as far as the story, because there's a grandfather who's telling his grandchildren a story about an adventurer, a knight that goes through and saves a kingdom, and that protagonist happens to be his granddaughter. It just oozes with charm. It's not a very long adventure. It's about 6 hours or so, but I think the game goes for probably about $15. At least it was when I bought it. Cheaper Zelda alternative, and it's actually a pretty decent game. Blossom Tales: The Sleeping King. 13th on the list is The Big Journey. Here's an interesting game with easy controls. Another game that I picked up for really cheap. I can't remember how much it was. I think I spent less than $10 on it. And you're basically a cat, and you tilt the screen. Yes, you tilt the screen left or right, and as you tilt, you will basically maneuver the cat through the level. And there's certain items, certain secrets that you need to try to find and pick up. I mean, you can just blast through the levels if you want and try to get the cat to the very end. But if you navigate the cat precisely, you can actually pick up all the secret items in the level. Cute theme, good music, in cheap price, and I think it's another good choice for a child. 14th on the list is Unravel 2. This is one game that is probably my daughter's favorite game. I would say it's probably her favorite game because she keeps talking about it. We already beat the game a long time ago, a few months ago, whatever it was, 6 months ago. I can't remember how long it's been. Hey Dad, when are they going to come out with another Unravel? When are they going to do another? I really want to go back and play Unravel again because the game is awesome. It's 2-player co-op game that you're these little yarn characters, and you have to make your way through these boards, and each board is kind of like a puzzle, and you got to figure out, how do I get the yarn characters through there? And the mechanics are brilliant. You can use like your yarn strings to lasso onto things, to pull things, to swing your little yarn characters across. Sometimes we had fun just swinging the yarn characters around. But yeah, that game is awesome. It's a cheaper game from EA. From EA of all companies. It's a game that also has a great message at the very end of the game. Beautiful game for kids. Okay, 3 more to go. 15th, Monster Boy in the Cursed Kingdom. So in this game, you have a bunch of people in this kingdom that have been turned into like different kind of creatures, and you need to go through the world. It's set up kind of like a Metrovania in a way. The graphics are great. It's very cartoon-like. It's very anime style. The intro to the game is amazing. It's got this anime kind of cutscene. It's long. It's like a long intro with this awesome music. And I absolutely love this game. This game I think is great for kids, but it's also good for adults. I love playing this game. I probably played the most of this game. And you're this protagonist, and you can change into different creatures, and you need to change into these different creatures in order to make your way through the levels. Yeah, Monster Boy is awesome. It is a little expensive full price. It's $40, but there are sales every now and then that this game will dip to about $20-ish. The next game is brand spanking new. It just came out. It is a game that I think is a little bit more tailored toward kids that are upper range as far as their age, and probably around their teens, maybe 13, maybe 10, 12, depending on the skill level of the video game skill level of that child. And that is Mario Golf Super Rush. It is the new golf game that came out. It's got multiple modes. It's got an adventure mode in there where you are as a Mii character and you kind of level up and gain experience and go through this adventure. And then they have other modes like the regular stroke play. They have battle modes where you're in an arena and you're battling other characters, trying to get your balls in the cup before the other ones. Super cute. Obviously, because it's Mario and it's all the Mario characters. The only reason why I'd say on this one that it's probably better for kids that are a little older is because of the golf mechanics. I don't feel like a 5-year-old would really get the golf mechanic of hitting the the button at the right time on the meter to swing your club at the right time, or swinging for a certain distance. I feel like that's something that's probably going to be a little easier for a child that's older, but it's super cute. For a golf game, it's actually rather easy to play, and I think it's good for kids. Last game on the list, the 17th game on the list, is Assault Android Cactus. This game is very, very arcade-like. It is a shooter. You are androids on a ship, and you have to make your way through these different sections. I think they call them sectors or something. I can't remember. But you go through these different sections until you get to the core, and you end up being this big kind of core machines. The bosses aren't that bad. They're actually they're moderate difficulty, but I think a parent playing with their child in this, because you have up to 4 players playing at the same time in this, should have no problem getting through the level. And it's easy to control. It's like a twin stick shooter in a way. Your left is to control your character, and then your right stick is kind of aiming, and then some of the buttons are for shooting. And you have 2 different types of weapons, a primary and a secondary, and you have these little abilities. So easy controls, cute android characters, and it's an arcade style shooter that you're on this awesome ship. And I feel like that is actually a pretty simplistic game for a lot of kids to play, especially with their parents. But this game is awesome. It's another game on the Switch that I have actually beaten all the way through, and I was very, very happy with that purchase, Assault Android Cactus. And it's not a bad price either. It's actually pretty decent on your wallet. So there you go. 17 games on this part 1 video that are good to play with children and good for kids. So if you guys like this video, please like, and if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.